I tried to get into medical school, but I didn't get in. I tried to climb into nursing management. The stress nearly broke me. And I didn't understand why God kept closing these doors. And maybe you're in that place right now where the plan that you had for your life looks nothing like where you are. And you're disappointed. Not just in yourself, but if you're honest, partially in God. That's okay to say out loud. We're going to see what God can do with that. Proverbs 16:9 says, "A person's heart plans his ways, but the Lord determines his steps." Solomon doesn't say all plans are bad. He doesn't say stop planning. Planning is human. God gave us a mind. But what Solomon is showing us is there's actually someone determines where your feet actually land or the way your life will go. And here's what's so easy to overlook. If God is determining your steps, He's intimately involved with each one. Even the steps that hurt. Even the ones we'd rather not step. God is there even when our plans are falling apart. But God's not making us stumble to fall. He's redirecting us to the path He wants us to go down. Another proverb of Solomon says, "Hope deferred makes the heart sick." Listen to that word again. Solomon says sick. This is not merely poetic. This is the reality of unmet expectations that make you physically, emotionally, and spiritually sick. And this proverb is speaking to spiritual hope and misplaced earthly hope. And that's not weakness. That's what it means to be human, to hope for something that hasn't come yet. And my favorite example of these concepts lived out is Hannah. In the Bible, there's a woman named Hannah, and Hannah wanted a child more than anything, a completely natural and God-given desire. And she cried out to God day and night, and she was extremely discouraged, to the point of the sickness we're talking about. And after a period of time of crying to God, God said yes. Hannah got her son, but it looked like nothing she could have imagined. It was so much better. She got to give her son back to God. Hannah didn't get to raise her son. Hannah didn't get to watch Samuel grow up in her house. By every human standard, then what's the point of even having this child? You don't even get to be around them. From a worldly perspective, that's a devastating outcome. But her son, Samuel, is a significant figure in the history of Israel. He was a prophet, a man whose life shaped a nation. Hannah prayed for a child, and God gave her a legacy that outlasted anything she could have ever imagined. What you want is not too big for God, but what God has planned for us is bigger than what you want, further than you could ask, beyond what you could even think to pray for. So what do you do when you're sick of waiting and you're disappointed? When hope's deferred and the heart hurts? Hannah's sickness produced a tree of life, and one she could have never planted herself.